Welcome to Merry-Go-Round, ladies and gents. Spawning in the top left position as the red Zerg player, playing for my insanity, and currently 1-0 up in this best of 3. It's Serral. His opponent spawning in the top right position, representing Team Red Bloods. It is SpaceMarine. Alright, so SpaceMarine, well, that last game was definitely a story of things that didn't work. I mean, he looked like he was gearing himself up for a pretty decent 2-base all-in, but perhaps overextended with the initial units in his army, and as a direct result of that, you had a situation where his pylons got picked off, all of a sudden he couldn't reinforce very quickly, and before he could start rolling through, with his new gateway units, unfortunately, about half of them died, and all of the pylons died in the middle of the map. His response to that, in my opinion, was the correct one. It was really nice. He was able to, by the way, as he's going Nexus first here, by the looks of things, queuing up this number of probes, he decided, hang on a second, I'm definitely behind in this game now, I better go for this gold base. And I really like that strategic choice. I think it gave him some income at a time when he really needed it. Unfortunately, when he pushed out into the middle of the map, I feel like he needed to get some better force fields to keep his first 2 Colossi alive. And that's really where I think the game was won and lost, because he never really got an engagement with more than 2 Colossi. And I felt that if he did, his army gets exponentially stronger. 3 Colossi is like much more than 50% better than 2, etc, etc. So I felt like if he kept the initial ones alive and got up to 3 or 4, it would have been such a tough engagement for Serral. Maybe would have picked off the gold base and it would have been a different game. Alas, that did not happen. Serral played fantastically to pick off the Colossi constantly whenever there was a battle. And as a result, SpaceMarine, even though he had the money to warp in units, was by the end of the game only warping in Blink Stalkers, and Serral was slowly starting to get more and more of an upper hand and just started to steamroll him. So we'll see what happens here in Game 2. We have got the Nexus popping down straight away once again. Gateway going to be completing just after that, and now we're starting to wall off from SpaceMarine. We have a couple of Zerglings here for Serral. We'll be moving, interestingly, towards the bottom, and he has actually scouted where his opponent is spawned. So this isn't him scouting the 6 o'clock position, guys. This is him sort of moving around, looking for those proxy pylons, and trying to make sure that no sneaky stuff is possible. Are there any proxy stargates here? Are there any pylons? As long as there aren't, we're good to go. And that's exactly what he's checking out right now. Serral able to see the wall. Sees that the cybernetics core is there and can probably deduce, oh, hang on a second, I reckon you didn't start this first. We've got the Nexus already complete, of course. I know exactly what this is. Don't even worry about it. The gateway should be complete. And they will successfully find this probe out in the middle of the map. I like how when I go to Serral's vision, that probe is super red, like it's glowing hot. Don't touch that! You'll get burned, man! But they will just about be able to chase it around the map. And crucially, that's the only probe out on the map right now. So SpaceMarine is not going to have another hope for a while. This Zealot trying his best to be as wide as possible to cover up this wall, but, well, I think it's a pretty big gap, mate. You could be in a little bit of trouble here, and at least one Zergling manages to make all the way in. Will this Ling actually survive to see anything useful? He sees that A gas was taken on the left-hand side of the base, but that's about it, and does not get to see the Stargate. So, the tech for our Protoss player still hidden as far as our Zerg is concerned. Serral, in the meantime, seems unworried. He's gone up to his 3rd hatchery. Everything seems hunky-dory. He's not continuing to produce army units non-stop or anything like that. He's only taken his first gas in his main base still, and he's only actually got 2 workers on that. So being very, very conservative on the gas count, and now he starts 10 Lings. So we'll see what this expeditionary force is going to be up to. A single Zealot for Ire is going to be trying to take out this 3rd base location. A couple of Queens are going to say, well, we don't think so to that. And we have got that small force of Lings now out for the Zerg. Bear in mind, they don't have speed yet, by the way, but they will in about sort of 10 seconds or so. So that's fine. Robotics facility going down for SpaceMarine now. We can see he's only got a sentry defending there. Don't forget, of course, we had Zealots, we did have a Stalker earlier. It's not like he opened up with loads of sentries and he's going the ultimate speed Sentry Immortal or anything like that. But with these gases taken here, it is potentially possible. We'll see what he ends up going for in just a sec. There's the Warp Gate technology. There's the Oracle coming out of the Stargate. It's going to be very, very similar, and it looks like it's going straight for the base. Here's the first one coming in now. 1, 2, already 2 more than the last game. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and it gets away as well. Excellent play there coming out from SpaceMarine. Doing a lot more damage this game than he did last. It's 48 probes to 44 workers right now. And it looks like it's going to get 10 workers in total before that Oracle dies. But there is a second one coming across the map as well. And that's really the one to watch out for. It is going to arrive here before the Spore Crawler competes as well. Competes? Well, I guess it could compete, but also before it completes. And we're going to be moving into... Is it the third? Or is it the natural? It's going to be the third. And here we go. Oh, juicy probes! Juicy probes! 1, 2... 2? Okay. This Oracle slacked off on the job, guys. I'm gonna be honest. Like that, there was an opportunity there for 4 or 5. But unfortunately it didn't happen. 4 Zealots getting warped in to take care of. Only slightly more than 4 Zerglings. Never a trade you want to be making. Oracle is in the middle of the map and chilling out. And this Zergling... Shh! Be very quiet. Is holding the Watchtower, and we'll see absolutely everything that's coming down right now. So that's all good. Roach Warren completing now. We've got, Robotics Bay and 4 more gateways, guys. If this doesn't spell a 2-base all-in, frankly, I don't know what does. The first Immortal is now going to pop. Is that the first one? Let me just double-check. No, that's a second one. My apologies. And we have got a Colossus coming in, too. So we've got 2 Immortals and a Colossus, an Oracle and a Void Ray. It looks a very similar composition to what he intended last game around. And... well, that Immortal is not a happy bunny. So, oh, and these Lings get into the main base as well. That is not what he wanted to see or hear. And this is going to be a really frustrating situation for him to deal with. These Lings are going to be able to pop into the main base, see those additional 4 gateways coming up. He knows this is a massive 2-base all-in. And, well, oh my god. This pylon, guys. It looks like they are just about going to be able to get, say, 2 more pylons starting up. I think he knows how terrible that situation could have been. He's going to continue to harass it, but we've got now the fight happening in the 3rd base location. Void Ray and 2 Immortals against mainly Roaches. Sounds like it's great for the Protoss. Mothership Core coming in now as well. The Void Ray getting extremely low. Needs to be careful. It looks like the Queen's going to be able to pick it up. The Zealots in the front line doing a great job as well. And, these Immortals, while currently targeting pros, probably not what it needs to do. It looks like the numbers are just about going to be enough. This causes like, hey guys, don't worry, I got this. I've got loads of oh, there's none of you left. And Serral manages to hold. He sacrificed an awful lot there, guys. This wasn't like game 1 where he basically clean sweeped any army. He did lose a reasonable amount, but unfortunately SpaceMarine has lost more. Again, if he was able perhaps to just have his entire army together, not have to warp in at home, didn't get those Zerglings into his natural and his main base, I feel like this could have been a different game, because that was gearing up to be a super scary push. So, now that that's not possible, we'll see what else happens. Wow, these Roaches, they're pretty brave, man. I'm not sure I'd want to be messing with that Protoss army, especially with Force Field in the mix. And it looks like he's just doing a little bit of hit and run. He's trying to buy himself some time right now, because that's a lot of the army to be spending off of creep. Good force fields, picking off about half of those Roaches right now. That was an excellent bit of micro there from SpaceMarine. And the question for him is now, well, do I push forward with this? My army's kind of stuck in the middle of the map. I know there are some number of Roaches going to my natural. I'm going to go back and defend it, he says. But in doing so, he's allowing Serral to buy a lot of time. He's got his 4th base coming down now as well. Tunneling claws coming down for the Roaches. That's just going to be an awful lot of fun. And here come the Roaches, like the Zerglings earlier, waltzing like Matilda into the natural expansion. And a couple of units are going to get warped to try and deal with this, but we will soon find out that it turns out they're woefully inadequate. A couple more Zealots actually will help, and I'll tell you what, this guy over here, he means business, but are we going to see any action across the outer end of the map? He has got those 2 Colossi together. What can he make with them, though? He needs to do something. He needs to pick off a base. He needs to gain some sort of momentum in this game. Serral's now up to 159 supply versus 126. Tunneling Claws nearly complete now, and we've got the +1 attack give or take 30 seconds away with 13 more roaches. Looks like Serral's going to try and repel this, effectively using brute force. Where are SpaceMarine's additions to his army? Oh, that didn't look like a great start to the engagement. Excellent concave coming out here from Serral. One side was successfully force fielded up, but where's the DPS? It's not there. GG and good luck. My Insanity Serral, ladies and gentlemen, wins game number 2 and completes a 2-0 series sweep over RB's SpaceMarine.